Okay, just wanted to go over with everybody how to work the Homeowners of America and Centauri claims from start to finish. And in order to begin the process, you will need your report templates. These Word document templates, and this will be our contact letter, final report for Southern Fidelity Companies, reserve report for Seibels, updated Seibels final report. Main two we're going to work with are the reserve report and the final report right here, these two. And if I open these from here, these are the raw documents with the tokens that we've inserted for you guys. That's going to help you in opening these from Xactimate to populate these tokens so you don't have to fill out a lot of the tedious information like the date, insurance company, address, insured name, claim number, policy number, date of loss, etc. Now, if you wanted to customize these reports, this is exactly where you would do that from. If you know that you have read the explanation of what we're looking for in the paragraph here, you could go ahead and take the caption or example out and then resave this back to the location of the raw file here. And now when I open up the raw file again, you can see that where I deleted out the example is blank now, where I can begin my my reserve report. So what you're looking at there is the first report, reserve report, as well as a reserve update if you need to do an update to your reserve before you send the final report in. And again, these are going to be for HOA, Homeowners of America, and Centauri only. All right, so I've got my raw documents, my template Word documents for reserve report and final report. And I've also got my my Homeowners of America help document here. That's going to be the fee schedule that we're going to use here. So we're going to need to reference this to fill the billing out. All right, so with those documents on our desktop, we can now begin the setup process in our Xactimate. Now, the same username and password that you use to log into Xactimate is also the same username and password you can use to log into XactAnalysis. And there is some information that you will need to pull from XactAnalysis in order to get your claims closed accurately for all of our carriers that we're working for. Now, if I log in and just open a sample claim, this is what you're going to see when you log into a claim. And the way that you're going to get there, I'll go to my adjuster portion. When you guys first log into XactAnalysis, you're going to see this screen right here first. You might not have any recently viewed assignments in here. That might be blank, but other than that, everything else here on the outside will be the same. If you click on these buttons up here, your in-progress claims are any claims that are currently open in your Xactimate right now being worked. Return to XactAnalysis means any claims that you have actually hit completed on and uploaded. So if you've hit completed on the claim, changed the progress to completed, from in progress to completed, and uploaded the claim by hitting connect, then it will no longer be an in progress portion. It will be in the return to XactAnalysis portion. But just to show you what it looks like, once you go to your in progress claims and you click on your first claim, for example, you will see that you'll need to just move from account to account too quick there. You'll see that you'll need to reference some things in here in order to find out some information. So any documents that are attached by the carrier or our office are going to be in the Documents tab. That's going to be any type of prior claims, any type of loss notice, and I'll show you here an example of a loss notice right here. And again, these are all in exact analysis, so you can see the advantage of having this information, what the insured filed the claim for, coverages, correct deductible. Some of these might be a wind and hail deductible, different than your all other perils deductible or general deductible. The correct lien holder to confirm and verify with the insured, along with any other endorsements that are important for your coverages that you need to know about for completing your claim. You might have an ACV roof endorsement. You might have an ACV policy endorsement. You might have some type of limitation, a roof exclusion, just all sorts of important endorsements that are always good to look and see if any apply to the claim that you're working. You can also go into the Notes tab. And if you go in the Notes tab and you scroll to the very bottom, in a live claim, this is a sample claim, but in a live claim, you'll actually have a note from the desk examiner that explains who they are and what the insured filed the claim for, the specific loss notice. There's not one in here, but it would say the information the insured filed the claim for, along with please send all correspondence of the claim to, and they'll sign their name and their email. So that's how you find out who your desk examiner is, and we will need that for the billing sheet. So if I just minimize this in the background, it doesn't affect anything I'm doing in Xactimate. But I'm going to work through this claim from our Jim Smith test claim, which I've done in training, so I'm going to change it back to in progress so we can go through it. Okay, so from the start, we pretty much can set the claim up in the first, what I call the first three tabs, the insured info, the coverage loss, and the parameters tabs. The insured info tab is where you're going to put yourself as the claim rep and estimator. You're going to put yourself, you're going to trigger your dates, date contacted and date inspected. And you're also going to trigger the Homeowners of America or Centauri insurance company reference headers. So these will need to be transferred into you. If you don't have these, just let one of us know here at the office and we'll be glad to send that over to you. But for this example, I'm going to use Homeowners of America, which I'm going to select from this reference. I'll go over to the coverage tab. These should be pre-filled out here, the loss information, claim number, policy number, type of loss. The things you need to double check are the deductible and how it's applied. Make sure it's the correct deductible, and the coverages at the bottom and what limits of liability are input. Want to double check those and make sure that the deductible is applied correctly to the limits. Okay, parameters. This is where we're going to double check our tax by zip code. We'll leave the depreciation options as seen here. They should come in like that. Depreciate by age and condition. Max depreciation will be 60%. Overhead and profit. If you use overhead and profit, we do need to take it off of O&P and O&P off of tax. So to do that, we'll go into the sales tax tab here, and on the material for our estimate, we'll change these to neither. And press OK. Now, if you don't use the cleaning or restoration or contents manipulation tax, and you just use the straight tax for materials, then all you'll have to do here is put it on the main material sales tax. All right, your header and opening statement should be sent to you by us. If you don't have these, let us know. We'll send them over to you. Once they're in your data transferred in your Xactimate, you can select those at that point. We select the header, hit the model button, and then there's our imported opening statement. We do not use a closing statement. We do require a sketch on all roof estimates. We do accept satellite imagery. So if you want to import a satellite image sketch, that will be just fine. These are annotated, showing where the damage is. That's not a specific requirement for HOA, but it's always good to show where some of the damages are, the storm direction, We do appreciate that if you can spend a little time showing us where the damage is on the roof. That helps the desk examiner for the carrier out a lot, and just looking at a complete file and seeing the whole story of what's going on out there at the loss. So in the estimate items, since this one has a roof and some elevation damage and pergola and contents, if we put, as you saw a second ago in parameters, we did apply O&P on this one, but HOA does not allow O&P on the roof. So in order to do that, you would just right-click on the roof folder, go to Global Changes, go to Taxes, O&P, and Repaired, and choose Non-O&P. Now that's going to take the O&P off of all of the roof items in that folder, which you can see here there's 9 line items in the roofing folder. HOA requires an F9 note that explains how old the roof is. They also require that all accessories, drip edge, flashings, vents, furnace caps, all accessories are replace only. Waste will be 10% on a gable and 15% or higher on a hip. We can change that here, or we can change our quantity to times 1.15, or a custom amount. Again, for waste, 1.15 for hip, 1.10 or 10% for gable. Okay. Some other little things to note for HOA. No depreciation taken on fence staying. And full runs or full replacements of fencing will be ACV, as well as any non-building detached structures from the house. Gazebos with no walls, lean-tos with no walls that are detached from the house, any type of canopies, greenhouse with no walls. All of those non-building structures will be ACV. Okay. Another little thing that they require is that all AND items are displayed as 2 items. So if I hit this checkbox here in the print screen, display AND items as 2 items, and I hit view, we can see what that does on the first line item that's remove and replace. We can see here, like on this gutter right here, remove gutter, 16A, 16B, replace gutter. We just have to see that in 2 line items. All right, now we're ready to import our template Word documents that we had set up on the desktop right when we started. If you don't have those template documents, we'll be glad to send those over to you. So if I go to my Documents tab, I'm going to import my template documents here by hitting Import, going to the folder where those report templates are, and importing all the templates that I want to import. So now, in order to write either a reserve first report or a final report, I simply just open those up from here by double-clicking or hitting View when I left-click to select. And I can begin filling out. I'm in Microsoft Word at this point. It automatically opens up in the file type and the program of the type of file it is. So in this case, it's a Word document. So it opens it up in Word. I can make sure this is all correct. Again, these are the examples that we've given. You guys can see I'm just kind of filling out what we found at the site, what our investigation revealed. Okay, now we need to put our reserve amount. Now again, this is just a reserve report. So if you have the final report ready to send in for HOA, we would like you to just send the final report in. If you cannot send the final report in within 3 to 4 days, we do ask that you send this reserve report in for a status and a reserve amount. Remember to replace all of the sample captioned items with what is necessary. All right, once I have this written, I can save it in my insureds folder. So in this case, we're going to go to Jim Smith's folder. Already got some in there. So this would be the reserve report. I'm just going to overwrite this, but if you don't have anything in there, obviously you'll just save it in that insureds folder. And the final report, same way. If I open it from here, tokens populate. I'll still need to go paragraph to paragraph. And if I don't have any attachments like ServPro bills or contractor's estimates, etc., I won't have any other enclosures other than the file order, which is billing, caption, full report, which is the Word document, final report that we're in right now, our repair estimate, the Xactimate estimate, diagrams, which are the sketches from Xactimate, statement of loss report, and photo report. That's the file order there. So there's in the final report, we're explaining what's all enclosed with our full package. So if we need to explain the policy form, you guys can see anything that needs to be taken out, take it out. And then these paragraphs you can read through the examples of what we're looking for there, then replace it with what is warranted for your situation. Now on the risk and valuation, this is the type of dwelling is a brick, exterior, comp roof, in well-maintained condition, single family, one story. This section here is asking the occupancy. Is it risk is occupied by named insured and spouse or by a tenant, etc. Or you could say risk is occupied by tenant. That's what the carrier is looking for there. In this bottom paragraph under the risk and valuation portion, they're looking for what's in lieu of an ITV. They do not require an ITV for HOA or Centauri anymore. So what you'll do is just go on the internet, and I'll just pick any house. And I can see here probably the first result is Zillow. I can click on there and I can see everything that I need to see as far as square footage and total RC estimated amount. So if I put 1736 square feet and 154,964, that's what they're looking for. And then divide the two out for your total square foot price. So that's 154,964 divided by 1768, 8765. And that's all for that. And the rest of these paragraphs, you probably are used to filling these out for other carriers. Cause of loss, any underwriting issues. We've given you examples of what you would typically say in a normal scenario, or if they do or do not apply, how to elaborate on that. So If you're wanting to edit these and kind of just read through them and learn how to write the paragraphs out, then save it. I showed you that at the beginning of the webinar where we opened up the raw document with the tokens in it, edited it, and resaved it as a raw document, and then brought it back into here under the print documents, under the template documents. We would delete this out and bring in the new edited final report that you have revised. So once this is finished, we can save that file as the final report. All right, and I also recommend to go ahead and convert these to a PDF, the first reserve report or this final report, because you'll need to convert it to a PDF to bring it into your bundle in Xactimate here in a minute, which we're going to do next. So if I go ahead and convert to PDF, I can go to my Jim Smith folder, and this would be my final report, which I already have one in here. And this is just going to make our life a lot easier when we go to upload this final merged report that HOA and Centauri require. Okay, now the report macros is a tab that we use to bundle the documents that the carrier requires. There are other ways to do this, but in this webinar I'm going to show the way that's probably the most efficient, fastest way to get this done the way that the carrier is asking for is a set of requirements, which we just saw in the Word document under our enclosures of the file order. We're going to include those documents that are required, put them in a certain order, and then upload them from here. All done right here in the report macros. So I'll delete these out. These are the ones we're going to be looking at. If you don't have any macros in here, it's just going to be completely blank. And as you can see, the name of these macros is by the carrier, because these are carrier-specific report order formats. So I'm going to make these Seibels reserve report, and the description can be any shorthand name, and press OK. And there's my Seibels reserve report template, and then I can also add the final report. Press OK, and as you can see, I've just created my two macros to start working on. Once you create these, they are a template, so you do not have to delete these out and make a new one every claim. You'll just edit the macros that are specific to the carrier that you're working. These Seibels will account for HOA, Homeowners of America, and Centauri. So if I was going to send a reserve report, again, if you can close the claim within 3 to 4 days of inspection, 3 to 4 days after your inspection, just do your final report. Do not worry about the reserve report. But if you do need to send a reserve report in to buy you a few more days to close the file out, you'll come in here and you'll hit Add File, because the final and reserve reports are outside documents. So if I go to my insured folder, I will see that I have my reserve report converted to a PDF in here. And there's my selected report that I've just added. Now, all the items over here on the left under Available Reports, these are giving you a quick, convenient area to select Xactimate-only documents. These are Xactimate documents built in Xactimate, reports from the program. So if you need something from outside Xactimate, you have to hit Add File. But if you have something within Xactimate, like the photo report, which we want to attach to the reserve report, the photos do not have to be labeled in a reserve report. But if I scroll down from the toggle of claim reports, I can select the photo report, left click and highlight, and hit Add to add it to my stack order over here. I press OK. I can see now I have my reserve report done, Seibels reserve report. That's the one I want to upload for this example right now. I can left click to highlight. I have two check boxes that just showed up when I highlighted that. I do want to convert to PDF, and I do want to merge them into one file. So again, if I go back in my reserve report, you can see I have two documents in there, but I want to merge them into a single PDF, so I have to hit this merge button. Very important. Then I can view it, to proof my file before I upload it. Got my reserve report, and I've got my photos. So if I'm okay with that, I can left click my reserve report, double check my checkboxes, and hit upload. And that goes to the outbox, so you have to hit connect for it to fully go to Exact Analysis for us to see it and send it to the carrier. Okay, now the final report. We'll double click to go back in there. Again, our stack order's over here on the right. We have nothing selected right now. And if we remember from our report, our final report Word document, or general loss report as some call it, our file order was the billing sheet, which we have to go to claim reports to get that. The second document in the file order is the final Word document, GLR. So it's outside of Xactimate, so I have to hit add file to pull something from outside Xactimate. I'm going to choose my final report. Now the third document in the file order is the estimate, so I'll have to toggle down to up to estimate reports, and we're going to use the final draft with without removal depreciation. Hit add, there it is in my stack order. Fourth document is statement of loss. I'll have to toggle to claim reports, choose statement of loss, hit add, and the final document is the photo report. Add, and there's my stack order. If I had any contractor's estimates, they would go at the very bottom. I could hit add file, go to my folder, and maybe this is a contractor's estimate. I could pull that in and it would go here at the bottom. Okay, so now I have my stack order. I can press OK. Just like the reserve report, we're going to left click. We have two new checkboxes and along with our other two checkboxes. And that's because this is for the estimate, these two checkboxes. So it's asking, do we want images attached to the estimate and do we want the sketch attached to the estimate? We do not want the images attached to the estimate because we have told it we would like to include a photo report. So because of that, we are going to uncheck images. We do want the sketch, so we'll check that. We do want convert, and we do want merge into one file. So again, just like the reserve report, we can view to proof. Everything's in there, final report, estimate. Over here on the left, we've got our thumbnails where we can kind of easily view where we're at. Sketch did come up. Pictures. Everything's there, and it's bundled into this Seibels final report merged, one document. So if we're okay with it, we can left click to highlight, check our checkboxes, and hit upload on that. Again, it goes to the outbox, so you have to hit connect. Now just a couple things to note on this, using this template macro for your file order. Since you never delete these out, it is important to know that these selected reports, if they're built in Xactimate and you chose them from over here, then they do update claim to claim. However, our caption Word document, final report, that's an outside document we made. It's a custom Word document, so Xactimate doesn't know to update any outside documents that you send. It's going to leave those in there. So this is our Jim Smith claim, for example. If we start with our John Doe claim next, then we would have to remove the final report from Jim Smith and then hit add file and bring in the John Doe claim from the John Doe insured folder from your computer. And then once you brought that John Doe final report in, you would have to left click and move that up to the second in line document location where it belongs in the file order. Then if you had any contractor's estimates from the last claim, you would also have to delete those out, or any attachments at the bottom there. But the photo report, statement of loss, estimate, and billing sheet, they all update claim to claim automatically because they're built in Xactimate. So it updates it based on the claim that you're in. And remember, when you left click to highlight, always check your checkboxes. We do not want the images on the estimate. We do want the sketch attached. We want convert to PDF on all documents, and we want merge into a single report document. And remember to always view to take a look at what your file order looks like and make sure you don't have any easy errors. Now, before you upload this report, it's important that since you chose the billing sheet, we do have to actually fill the billing sheet out. So it's important to do the billing sheet before you send in your macro that includes the billing sheet, because it will send in a blank billing sheet if you haven't filled it out already. So if I go to Report Management from the Claim Info tab, third down is our billing sheet. The claim number is the invoice number. You can either type that out from over here. It does not let you select it over here, unfortunately, so you cannot copy and paste from there, but you can copy and paste from the Coverage tab right here from the claim number. Do a right click, copy, and then come back to Report Management. It should automatically put you right back where you were in the billing sheet. Paste the claim number. Until further notice, Lori Rose is the examiner for all HOA claims. If it's a Centauri claim, you will need to look in Exact Analysis where we started out and go to the Notes tab and find out who the examiner is at the very bottom where the note from the examiner is pasted into the note section. Again, there's not one here in this claim example, but in your live claim, you will have a note from the examiner and their name signed at the bottom. And again, this is in exactanalysis.com in the claim that you're working. Right here. So that's how we get our attention. The desk examiner for the carrier. Again, Lori Rose for HOA claims until further notice. To fill the fee amount out, you're going to hit flat rate. You're going to put the fee in from the fee schedule. When we first started, remember we had to get our HOA help documents folder here so we could open up the fee schedule and reference it. We know this claim is around $14,000, so it's going to be in between these two brackets here, $468 plus a $132 admin fee. So to fill that out on the billing sheet, we're going to do $468 under flat rate fee. It is taxable in Texas, very important. Have to add tax to all items in the billing sheet for Texas. Administrative fee, yes, $132, and yes, taxable. Now we'll slide on over to our Taxes and Totals tab to finish the billing up. We do want to add a state and local tax because we already told it it's taxable, and we have to tell it the percentage, and we can get this from our Texas sales tax help document that we send out. If you do not have that, let me know or the office know, and we'll get that over to you. So if I minimize this, open my Texas sales tax in use rate chart, I can hit Control F for find, and maybe it's New Braunfels. Press enter, and it brings me right to New Braunfels, Comal County, 8.25% total tax. And we'll put that in the description at the bottom right here. Before we leave the billing sheet, we do need to upload an individual copy. So if we just hit the upload button right here at the bottom of the billing sheet, it didn't look like much happened, but it did send it to Exact Analysis. And that's an individual copy of your billing so we can get your pay rolling and in the works while the rest of the claim is being reviewed and set up by the carrier. So actually this claim was over $15,000. That would have been a different bracket. So if I go back, important to remember, so the $15,000 and over is $543 and $152. I can easily change that here. Tax is still the same, and hit upload. But it gives you the loss recap up here for convenience, so you can see what your gross and net fee bills are. And before we finish, we do hit complete on the claims. So before you finish Moving on to your next claim, you'll want to hit completed after you've sent in your final report macro file order, and then hit connect and send everything in right here. That's pretty much start to finish the HOA and Centauri process. If you have any questions, you can call our office at 888-297-3092. Again, that's 888-297-3092, and I'm Steve Turner. You can reach any one of us at the office. We'll be glad to help you. We appreciate your help out there and look forward to keeping you in the loop with as many claims as we can. And have any questions, let us know. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.